Hello there, listeners, and welcome back to my little cozy corner of the internet. My name is Sarah Ashworth, and I just wanted to apologise for the delay recording this episode. I had a sore throat and was unable to record, but I'm feeling better now. You'll remember in the previous episode we read Chapter 1, which started with Eric surviving the traumatic shipwreck and ended with Jasper collapsing on the beach. In today's episode, we shall continue this haunting tale. So, grab your favourite beverage, sit back, relax, and I shall begin. Chapter 2. The New Student. Jasper? Jasper? Huh? Who said that? Hello? Jasper, wake up. Wake up? Jasper, wake up. His amber eyes shut open as the voice calling out to him became much clearer. He quickly sat up and looked around to find that he was back in his room. That was weird. Was it all just a dream? He thought to himself as he tilted his head, clearly confused. It felt so real. Glad that you finally woke up. A female voice spoke up playfully as Jasper turned to see an older brunette woman sitting in a chair beside his bed. How long have you been here for? He asked her, as her expression soon changed to match her demeanour. A good 15 minutes at least, she answered, as she stood up and looked at the chair, making a few finger movements to make a magical rune appear underneath the chair. It disappeared and reappeared in a corner of the room. Now hurry up and get dressed. You'll be late for school. I didn't oversleep. Did I? He questioned as he looked at his phone on his nightstand, and his eyes widened as he saw the time. Oh crap! I really did oversleep, he uttered as he threw the covers off himself and looked around for his clothes that were strewn about the room. He ignored the look of disapproval that his mother gave him and pointed his hands towards his clothes, and made the same finger movements as she did to teleport the chair. His clothes disappeared and reappeared on his bed. I'm so glad you taught me that spell. It makes finding my things so much easier. That doesn't mean that you should be lazy, his mother lightly admonished him. You should still keep your clothes neat and tidy. She made her way towards the door. Now get dressed. With that, she left the room, and her footsteps could be heard going down the stairs. Jasper looked at his clothes and quickly got dressed. A few minutes later, he went down the stairs wearing a red robe-like shirt, blue jeans, brown leather gloves and boots. He heard his mother's voice in the living room and figured that she was talking to someone on the phone. He grabbed his bag and an apple from a fruit bowl on the kitchen counter. He peered into the living room and gave his mother a wave before leaving. He took a breath as he stepped away from the front porch and walked past the houses and shops to school. He was glad that the storm from a few days ago had stopped, as he didn't grab his coat. He felt strangely tired, but the sea air was doing him some good. He arrived at school just as the bell rang. Just in time, he thought happily as he went inside. As students entered the classroom, Jasper found a seat near the back and waited as the teacher came in and began talking to the class, though the young man wasn't really paying much attention to what the teacher was saying. His voice became a soft drone as Jasper began to drift off. Why did he feel so tired? Why didn't he remember what happened the previous night? What was with that strange song? Am I boring you, Mr. Ashford? His teacher's voice was sharp against the other voices in his head. Huh? What? Jasper uttered as he sat awake and sat up quickly. He saw that everyone, including the teacher, was staring at him. What did I miss? Now that Mr. Ashford has decided to pay attention, the teacher began to address the class. I'll start again. We have a new student joining us here today. Joining a new school is a tough experience, so I hope you'll make him feel welcome. The teacher gestured to the student to step forward and introduce himself. Jasper was now sat up straight in his seat, looking towards the front. Admittedly, he was curious about the new student, but as the new student stepped forward, his blood ran cold. No, it can't be. Why is he here? He closed his eyes, wanting it to just be another dream, but there was no mistaking that vibrant red hair. He didn't know anyone else with hair like that. Hi, my name's Eric, he introduced himself shyly as he pulled at the sleeves of his purple hoodie. I came here from far away, and I look forward to studying with you and learning about life in this town. As the rest of the class lightly clapped at Eric's rather awkward introduction, Jasper just continued to stare in shock. He was here. After all this time, he was here. He clenched his hands into fists, stopped them from shaking, just focusing on his own thoughts at that moment. This had to be a dream, right? You can sit next to Jasper, the teacher's voice echoed through his mind, causing him to snap out of his thoughts once more. I can assure you, he doesn't usually daydream like this. I'm sorry, Mr. Hughes. Jasper apologized to the teacher as he shook his head, clearly embarrassed by how he was acting that day. I'm not sure what's wrong. I will speak with you after class, but for now I'm pairing Eric up with you, and you can give him a tour of the school after our talk, Mr. Hughes told him sternly, making sure Eric was settled before moving to the front of the class. Now everyone turn to page 20 of your textbooks and we'll begin. Eric carefully sat down and gave Jasper a guilty look. He didn't mean to get Jasper in trouble. Sorry. He quickly apologized as he saw Jasper turn to page 20 without a word and set it over towards Eric so he could see as well. Eric looked down at the book, trying to distract himself from his own thoughts. He didn't recognize Jasper at first, but now that he was closer, he did, and the truth was, he didn't know how to feel about it. But class wasn't the best time to discuss it. The teacher mentioned a tour, so maybe they could talk more then. Jasper tried his best to focus on the lesson, but despite his best efforts to follow along with the textbook and what was being written on the board at the front, it was hard to focus when he had so much on his mind. Mr. Hughes's voice droned on, and Jasper simply rested his head on his desk in frustration. It was so hard to focus at that moment, and Eric looking over at him and asking him if he was okay wasn't helping much either. He wanted to yell at him at that moment, but he just couldn't muster up the energy, and yelling in the classroom just wasn't cool. When he looked up next, he saw that the classroom was empty. His eyes were wide with confusion as he looked around. Did everyone leave? He questioned as he looked around at the empty seats. They left 5 minutes ago when class was dismissed, Mr. Hughes informed him. Please come to my desk, Jasper. Oh, right. The talk, he uttered, remembering that he was asked to stay behind after class. He quickly packed his things away and grabbed his bag before walking to the teacher's desk. Grab a seat, Mr. Hughes ordered, gesturing to the chairs at the front. Jasper grabbed the nearest chair and put it at the side of the desk and sat down. Is everything all right, Jasper? It's not like you to be falling asleep in class. Yeah, I'm fine, he answered, as he looked down at his feet. He wasn't entirely sure how to explain it. What could he say? Had the song woke him up? He vaguely remembered feeling sand beneath his feet, but how did he wake up in his own bed? Are you getting enough sleep? Do we need to call your mother? Jasper's eyes widened at that and he looked up. No! My mother has enough on her plate without having to deal with this. He was adamant that his mother was not brought into this, at least, not yet. Though she never put any kind of pressure on him, he still wanted to do well in school to make her proud. It's a one-off, Mr. Hughes. It won't happen again. Make sure it doesn't, the teacher responded sternly as he watched the young man. You need to make sure you get plenty of sleep, because if it happens again, we'll have to get your mother involved. I know. I'll make sure it doesn't happen again. Good. You're free to go. Jasper nodded and stood up, making his way out of the classroom. As soon as the door closed behind him, he leaned against it and sighed. It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? He asked himself as he rubbed his eyes. There you are, a voice called out to him. He quickly looked over and saw Eric standing close to him, with a concerned look on his face. Oh, it's you, Jasper muttered as he looked down, not really wanting to see Eric's face at that moment. You actually waited here this whole time? It's only been 10 minutes, Eric pointed out to him. Also, you're supposed to be showing me around the school, considering the teacher made us buddies. Not sure I'd call us buddies, but yeah, I'll show you around if I must, Jasper responded as he pushed himself off the door. Well, let's get this over with. Preferably before you pass out. It's like you're asking to be punched in the face. Sorry. It's that you look like you're gonna fall down. Whatever. Let's go. Jasper took off at a quick pace. He just wanted to get this whole thing over with. Eric had to practically run to keep up with him, but he didn't say a word about it. So we just went past the classrooms, Jasper started to explain, as he pointed to the rooms along the hallway. The two walked down some steps and past a rather large cafeteria. Cafeteria where you can get both cold and hot food. The fish is locally sourced. Gotta give the fishermen something to do. I imagine a place like this, the fishing industry would be booming. Eric pointed out as Jasper scoffed. You always were a smart ass. Did you say something? Not a thing. Let's go. Jasper continued to walk at his brisk pace, with Eric trying his best to keep up. They saw some more classrooms, a gym, and even the club rooms for the extracurricular activities. All that time, Jasper was keeping his responses short and to the point. He knew he'd have to talk to Eric sooner or later, but he couldn't. Not now. It was all too raw. Right now, he just wanted to get this tour over with and get on with the rest of his day. Jasper, Eric started to speak up as they walked past the art classrooms. I know we couldn't talk in class, but I'm going to stop you right there, Jasper interrupted as he stopped in his tracks and turned to face Eric, his eyes narrowing. Whatever it is that you have to say, I'm not interested. Eric just stood there, silently at first. He figured that their first meeting in a while would be awkward, but he didn't think it would be like this. He just stared back at Jasper. Are you still mad about that? No, Jasper snapped as he turned away. He took a few deep breaths to control himself. He didn't want to give Eric satisfaction. Then why won't you talk to me? Eric questioned. His son wasn't mad, just sad. Jasper gritted his teeth. On top of everything else, he didn't want to deal with this. I'm sorry. You want the guy you abandoned to talk to you? Jasper responded through his gritted teeth. It took all his mental fortitude to not blast Eric back with a spell right now. It was a tempting thought, but his mother had always told him to not use magic in school if he could help it. Eric stopped as he heard that. Damn, those words stung. He thought maybe Jasper had dealt with his feelings on that by now, but he clearly hadn't. We were just kids, Jasper. He spoke quietly. Despite Jasper snapping at him, he wasn't the type to snap back. I didn't have a choice. I thought you would have been happy for me. You shouldn't be here. Jasper spoke coldly as he started to walk away again. This time, Eric didn't follow him. He simply watched as Jasper continued to walk away, disappearing into a crowd of students making their way to classes. It's not like I had a choice, Eric whispered to himself. He looked down sadly before he turned around and walked the other way, disappearing into the crowd. I hope you enjoyed today's episode as much as I did. Join me next time where I'll read Chapter 3 and continue with Jasper and Eric's adventure. Until then, stay in the shallow end.